Hey guys, it's Carl. I thought I'd make a fun video for my review of the Galaxy Z Fold 4 using it as my daily device, day in my life, and I'm traveling right now for the Porsche Sports Car Together Festival, so my early morning wake-ups start around 6:30, 7 a.m., and I find that using the Google Newsfeed is the first thing that I always do, just in its closed form factor, and Google knows me pretty well, knows all of my interests. And even traveling in the day before, I find that I use the Z Fold 4 primarily in its closed form factor, just quickly getting information, checking things like the weather. It was pretty hot this entire weekend, and I find that I've opened it the most, honestly, when I'm just using it for media consumption, when I'm catching up on soccer. But anyways, when we arrived, there were two 918s parked side by side, so I quickly had to hop on the selfie cam, so I was using the cover screen one, and that's a 10 megapixel shooter versus the 4 on the inside, which is honestly pretty trashy, and someone actually drove their 918 from BC. If you guys know how much these cars cost, that's pretty impressive. Come on, so you know how rare the 918s are? We don't have one, we have two of them parked side by side. And check this out. This guy is actually driving it, like beating the crap out of this car. All those bugs just destroyed on the front bumper. I think these are selling for like 1.5 mil, the 918s, 1 and 2. Come on. Anyways, getting back on track, we made it down to the hotel for breakfast. I snapped, of course, a pic of the food, as that saying, the camera has to eat first.
That's not a saying. That's the opposite of what the saying is.
Alrighty, just getting back to the room from breakfast. It is currently 8:16. If I can get this to focus, we have burned around 7% and we're sitting at 93% for the rest of the day. We're gonna head to the Porsche event now, and let's just quickly show you that the sun is coming out. Indianapolis is looking good. Looking forward to exploring the city a bit more. Okay, so we've just arrived, sun is already blazing. Obviously this is Porsche heaven. No better place to test out the cameras in here, so we'll go around, take a bunch of different photos. And speaking of Porsche fans, being an Audi fan, this phone really reminds me of Nardo Grey, the pink color. If you know, you know. I'm sure we'll see some really unique colors as we tour around. Honestly, scratch what I said about Nardo Grey. This Arctic Grey GT4 RS, this color combo is made to be together. So on the rear camera right now, and if you guys know, this is exactly my car. Obviously not in this color, this is in Guards Red. Of course, the new 992 GT3. Okay, so this is the end of day one. To be honest, the amount of times that I had the Fold 4 open in its tablet mode was only to show someone that came to ask. Most of the time, I just had it in its little clamshell. The majority of the day, I was just snapping content, recording pics, shooting video, sending them over to clients over WhatsApp, and we are sitting right now, this will pull focus, at 64%. And the rest of the day for us is honestly pretty simple. We're just gonna head back to the hotel, do a lot of editing, and probably just do a bit of extra work, maybe grab some dinner. So I think we're gonna shut down the usage of the phone for today. I wanna see if this will last 2 days. It'll technically be a day and a half since we started at 7 a.m. this morning and just went till around 5:30 in the afternoon. The phone will stay on, and we should be around maybe 50% tomorrow. So I'll check back in tomorrow for day 2 of the Sports Car Together Festival, and maybe we'll do a couple other things on the device. Alrighty, at the very end of the day, Z Fold 4, we are sitting at 12%, so my official battery rating, I'm gonna give it a day and a quarter, a day and a half of battery usage, which is a pretty decent upgrade. And I would say in the stuff that we did today, obviously we were shooting content all day, submitting stuff to brands, doing quick stuff with your phone on WhatsApp, sending messages, quickly typing out. I could get by mostly on this front cover screen. And if you're coming from an older full device like the 1st or 2nd gen, this is such a big improvement that I think right off the bat, it's an upgrade in its own. And kind of thinking back over the last day and a half, the only time that I fully opened up to use the main device was when I really wanted to get some nice images on it, when I really wanted to showcase some of the nice cars. But other than that, as a Taycan kind of blows by silently, you can get by with the main cover screen. The main uses for me getting onto the main inside display are when I actually have a bit more downtime, when I'm browsing the net, when I'm reading, when I am watching content. Yes, you do get big black bars on the sides, but it's still a larger display than any other traditional smartphone. Some big changes coming to the inside. I know that front-facing camera, it's 4 megapixels, I believe. It isn't good at all, but they have updated the under display tech or under camera display tech. You can still see it off angle, but it is more subtle than previous gens. You can still see the big crease down the middle no matter how much you're looking at it, especially in direct sunlight, as I stared at right now. It's not annoying, but of course it isn't seamless like other phones I've seen, say, from Oppo. Like I mentioned, for performance, pretty much seamless. One of the fastest phones that you'll use with the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 platform. It has more than enough RAM to keep up to most of your guys' daily workflows. I surprisingly didn't get any hiccups, no sorts of lags or crashes on mine, which I thought was great, especially for folding phones. When you go through some of the software, you notice that it isn't really implemented for the large display. They're just larger, blown up versions of it on the main screen. Of course, I'm talking about some of the main social media apps like Instagram, of course, Twitter. Would love to see those in fuller format modes. One of the new additions that I love on the main display is the new dock, which I find just makes things easier to multitask, getting to different apps quicker. It makes a huge difference. It's very reminiscent of what we see that main dock on, say, Mac OS. So I don't know if Samsung is biting that, but it is definitely handy. And kind of thinking about it as we wrap up, when I really want to recommend this device, I get it. It's expensive, around 1,800 US, over 2,000 Canadian. It does replace smaller tablets, I think. So if you are someone that likes an iPad mini or a smaller form factor tablet, you can get by with just the one device. I myself didn't really use the device enough in its open form factor to justify that price, and when I did have it folded and had it in my pocket, maybe it's because I'm wearing too tight jeans, you could definitely notice that extra bulge. But if that works for you, if you are someone that loves to consume content, that loves a larger display, that loves that 2-in-1 form factor, and across any device, this one draws the most eyes. It's a cool thing to look at when you're opening a folding phone. Everyone is wondering what device that is. Obviously, folding tech has improved over the past couple of years, and it's still one of the most eye-catching pieces. Is this better than the Flip 4, which I've used, which is half the price? That's a tough sell. I think only you can decide. I think I'd still lean over to the Flip 4 personally. But yeah, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed my day in the life using this phone in the flesh here in Indianapolis at the Sports Car Together Fest from Porsche. We took a lot of sweet photos. Big shout outs to Nick, who's on the back of the camera, as we couldn't shoot this way seated as the lighting. It's too hot here. I'm gonna wrap up this vid and hopefully interchange some of the B-roll with studio shots. We'll catch the rest of you in one of my next vids. Peace.